Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers, John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and hitting the notifications button so you'll get notified about new videos as they are released. I wanted to come on because, it's kind of a special transmission as they occur every now and then. Because one of my favorite things to do in this life is observation of myself, but of the world around me. And I don't discriminate. I love to observe other people. I love to observe whatever is happening in the world of politics and finance, economy, whatever. And the best way for me to do it is to get myself in the most neutral place of observation that I can. And that's a challenging thing to do, by the way. But if I do it, I can see certain trends, if you will, or certain streams that are increasing, energetic streams. And then, of course, whenever the energy around something increases, then the occurrences of that in the real physical world also increase. So here are two things that I'm observing right now that are extremely powerful, and they're happening to me, but they're also happening to a larger group around me and that I can observe, and people have now confirmed this to me. The first thing is that after years of having been connected online or having sort of the feeling to be a part of a movement of great awakening, spiritual awakening, greater truth, whatever you want to call it, and people have now, last year, more and more began reaching out and said, hey, I feel isolated and lonely in this. My family is different. They can't see it. My friends, my spouses. So everybody has, with that frustration, also set an intention and said, I really want to connect, right? I really want to connect with people in real life. I want to have these relationships, conversations, co-creations in real life. And here's, in the last months, the creator or the divine or the God, whatever you call it, has really orchestrated this in a very, very powerful way. People are being connected, but there's a prerequisite for this. And a lot of you are feeling it, but here's the thing that you have to do in order for that to be activated. Number one, you have to be in touch with your intuition, with the spirit that is guiding you. And then when a spirit says, go there, do this, or say yes, even if you can't explain why you should say yes, because the logic doesn't add up, because whatever, but if you feel strongly about it, then please do say yes, because that's what leads to these synchronistic connections. We're having them every day now. They're absolutely beautiful. And it has nothing to do with going to a specific conference or seeking out specific people. It has more to do with saying yes when you're guided to, and then it can happen in a coffee shop, it can happen at the grocery store, it can happen out on the street, it doesn't matter. You will find these people everywhere when you trust that guidance. So that's the first thing. And it's really happening. It's kind of like, I describe it as almost like the gathering before the flood must have been. And I'm not trying to imply the apocalypse is around the corner, although who knows, it might be. After all, that's just a revelation of it all. But I'm saying it's like we're finding each other. It's so beautiful. And when we find each other, it does not require the usual social get-to-know process, because we already know each other. And that's how beautiful this is. And the second thing that is happening, and is also deeply connected to your intuition and your ability to discern, as we go and as the path is becoming more and more narrow and the eye of the needle is becoming smaller, but there's still plenty of room for you to go through it. And for me, the path and the needle are symbols for truth and truthful living. We will see very strange actions by seemingly trusted people, right? Could be in our lives or could be in a public arena. And people will do things. And here's my process. People say, well, you gotta pay attention to what someone says. And I say, sure, listen to what they say. Now, the second part is you gotta pay attention to what someone does, right? So then you go, it is more important to watch what they do than to listen to what they say, because they might say one thing and then do another thing, and that might not line up. And I agree with you, a lot of people do that, especially politicians will say one thing and do another. But that's not the final truth for me. The final truth for me is, why is someone doing what they're doing? not talking about a mass murderer or something like that, but a lot of the everyday actions. Why? The intention. And here is the big thing with intention. You cannot see with your physical eyes intention. You have no physical sense that can discern intention. It's only your spiritual sense, whether that's the third eye or whether that's the spirit itself in you, that can discern intention. And that's why more than ever you need to listen with your spirit and really be connected and grounded. Because in the height of this war that we're in, the height of deception, it goes right along with the height of truth. And sometimes things that I do might not seem very logical at the time when I'm doing them, but if you feel, and if you open your spirit or open your heart so you can feel the spirit, if you feel the purity and the pure intention, then the action in that moment is not as important because it is just a part of a bigger picture. And so that's what I'm seeing when I'm looking into the world, as I am seeing what people do. And oftentimes right after that, it might be someone in a public arena, someone famous, and then I meet them and I get to know them, but mainly I feel the intention. Then it all makes sense all of a sudden. It is a very, very intense game that's happening right now, but I really want to drive this point home to you, for you. You have a compass. You have something that is infinitely better than any GPS or any other technology that was ever invented to sense, in a technological way, to sense facts or truth. You have that inner guidance. It is the best, the most perfect tool to discern and to realize, is this good? Is this beneficial? Is this positive or not? You have it within you, but you need to learn to really feel it, again, because we were taught not to feel it, and B, you need to really learn to trust it again. I'll close with an example, okay? I can't go into the details because I would literally be shut down here on this platform if I did, but I can give you the broad strokes. There was a substance, and I'll leave it at that. It was legal at the time, and it is still legal. A lot of people have the perception that that particular plant or substance, and no, it's not weed, is bad for you. Very common, by the way, all around. And I used to have interactions, or I used to take that plant, like a lot of people do, by the way. And I stopped many, many years ago. I want to say 20 almost, something like that. And over the last 3 years, for absolutely no logical reason whatsoever, I was attracted to using that particular product again. But in my mind, that product causes harm to the body, so that's why I quit it in the first place. Now, here we go. 3 years on, I'm having this urge on and off. I can't explain it. My logical mind goes, you're crazy. You quit this a long time ago. Don't start again now. So then I trust another part of my intuition that guided me to a specific event where I met a specific doctor. And that doctor, it was a 1 hour or maybe 90-minute presentation. And he said something that finally made me realize why I was attracted to that product over the last 3 years, and why it would have been beneficial for me to take it, very beneficial at that, and why I had that intuition. It was something that he said that made it completely clear to me, and I noticed that I hadn't trusted that intuition because my mind was getting in the way. So please, what I encourage you to do, really check in with the spirit. You have a perfect guidance system, as do I, as every real human being has, that has a spirit and a consciousness. And that points us to true north, points us to truth. We have to learn to trust it again. And it is the most important lesson moving forward, because when the lights go off and when it's really dark and when you can't rely on your physical senses anymore, that sense will always guide you in the right direction for your highest good and the highest good of all. I'll leave it at that. My dear friends, dear Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers, there's so much love here for you. We think of you a lot. You are so incredibly important to us. Thank you for being with us on this journey. We'd love to hear your experiences in the comments, how you use that intuition maybe, and how it has benefited you, or what you've experienced. Please share it in the comments. Much love to you. Many blessings. We'll be back with you again very, very soon. Dr. Zelenko became a household name when he developed his world-famous Zelenko protocol. To make sure that everybody had access to his immune-boosting formula, he created Z-Stack, my family's immune-boosting supplement of choice. Along with Z-Detox, Z-Flu, and Z-Shield, Z-Stack has helped countless families stay healthy and protected. With every purchase of Dr. Zelenko's products, you also support the Zelenko Freedom Foundation in their tireless work to promote and reinstate medical freedom for all. Click the link down below, use coupon code INSPIRE to save and protect your family today.